What's going on, guys? This is the, what is it? This is the August Blu-ray update. So let's dive right in. First up, if you watch my Wheeling Around Town videos, you'll know I picked up The Incredible Hulk for $5. This is a single disc version. Actually, the artwork on it is pretty cool. But the Blu-ray looks really, really good. Movie itself is probably the best adaptation of a Hulk movie there is, outside of the Avengers. I think Edward Norton, I couldn't think of his name. Edward Norton did a pretty good job, but I think Mark Ruffalo really nailed it in the Avengers. This is the second best Hulk movie, but the best standalone Hulk movie there is. I mean, there's not really much to go into on story. It's pretty much, what's his face? I can't even remember. Bruce Banner is running from the law because the law thinks he is a weapon of, whatever. So he goes back, turns into Hulk. It's pretty standard fare for a Hulk movie. Definitely really pretty good. Abomination is the villain in this one. Actually works really well. Doesn't really make an appearance until the very end, but the final battle between Abomination and Hulk is really badass. Definitely check that one out. I believe it's 10 or 15 all the time. Like I said, I picked it up for $5. Check it out. Next up is Super 8, which this one has a slipcover, which it is different than the actual cover of the Blu-ray. This one looks freaking spectacular. Who makes this? Doesn't say. But I was gonna say that it was a Universal, but I don't believe it is. This is a Blu-ray DVD digital copy. I picked this up at Sam's Club, and if you don't know what Sam's Club is, in Indiana there is a Costco-like chain owned by Walmart called Sam's Club, and it's a warehouse store, and sometimes they have Blu-rays. So we go in there every once in a while, and I picked this up for $8, and it was about a month ago. It was still about $20 everywhere else, so I decided to jump on it because of it was so expensive. But it really is a great movie. It is produced by Steven Spielberg and written by J.J. Abrams, which J.J. Abrams wrote, I believe, Fringe, and he wrote and directed Star Trek, the new one, I believe. Now, if I'm wrong, go ahead and call me out on it, but it's about a group of kids, basically like the Goonies, making a film for a film festival, and they go to a train station at night to film a scene, and the train comes by, and they're all excited because it's basically free. I forget what they call it. Oh, the fat kid screams it out. It's whatever. But they go to the train station. The train goes by, and the train crashes because of a car on the tracks. Turns out there is a monster on the train, and it goes from there. It's actually a really good film. Definitely check that one out. I believe it's really expensive still, so I'm really lucky I got it for $8. But moving on, next up, I actually showed this in a video not too long ago, but it's Pulp Fiction. This movie is awesome. It really is. It's hilarious. It's definitely Tarantino's best film. Like I've said before, and I'll say it again, he is the master of meaningless chit-chat in a film. I mean, at one point, Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta are sitting in a coffee shop talking about pigs. And, they're just talking about pigs, and yet you're still, really paying attention to what they're saying about freaking pigs. He really knows how to capture the audience with just meaningless chit-chat. It's really funny, really memorable. My favorite scene in it is where after the miracle happens with John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson. I can't really remember their names in the film, but those two, they are coming back from it, and they have Marvin with them, which is a person from the previous place. And they're talking about the miracle, and John Travolta leans back and starts talking to him, and the gun goes off. And John Travolta just nonchalantly says, "Oh man, I just shot Marvin in the face." It's really funny. It's a great movie. I believe it's like $10 all the time. Definitely pick this up. It looks great on Blu-ray. But moving on. This next one I picked up for $12 at Disc Replay. It's the original Tron with slipcover. And I really did enjoy Tron Legacy, and I'd never seen this one, so I decided to pick it up. This is a Blu-ray DVD. And it's way ahead of its time with the way it, with the way it's computer generated. All of this movie pretty much is computer generated. But The real-life sequences look really good on Blu-ray. They're really, really crisp and clear. But the parts where it's on the grid, they don't look so hot anymore. I mean, it looks really cheesy. The light cycles look really, I mean, just most of the stuff on the grid looks really bad. But for the most part, it's a pretty good Blu-ray. Like I said, Blu-ray DVD, picked it up for $12 used. Excuse me. I'm starting the burping thing again. I had a streak going. But when it's on the grid, everything just looks really bad. Like the data discs that they used in Tron Legacy that actually looked like that, like a disc, were just Frisbees with like Sharpie painted stuff on it. I know they had a really low budget, but I mean, they probably could have done something a little better with it. Overall, it's a pretty good Blu-ray. I'm glad I have it because of Tron Legacy. I really do love that one, and I just want to have both of them. So that's that. This next one I showed you in my Best Buy. The next three I showed you my Best Buy pickups, which is the Patriot, Mel Gibson. This is the extended cut, and it is single disc. This movie, it's good, but I mean, it didn't really click with me. It's not a bad movie. Mel Gibson and Heath Ledger do a really good job, and this is the first movie I've actually seen with Heath Ledger in it that isn't Batman. I've never seen a movie with him, and he looks like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. To me, this is my opinion. He looks like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and he sounds like Chris Hemsworth. I believe that's how you pronounce it. He played Thor. It's like a mix of those two. But the movie itself is pretty good, especially for $5. It looks really good on Blu-ray, and there is a little bit of noticeable grain on it, which I think in this case adds to the experience, because there's a lot of bombs and musket smoke coming off the war zone and stuff like that. But by the end of it, Mel Gibson becomes basically Braveheart again and just goes apeshit on a couple people with a freaking tomahawk. But overall, it's a pretty good movie. I'd say check it out if you're a Mel Gibson fan or a American revolutionist buff or something like that. But it's an okay film. Next up is one I showed you before as well, and that is Coraline. I really did enjoy this film. The reason I picked it up is because of Paranorman, which is I do want to see. I haven't seen it yet. This is a single disc made by Universal. It's hard to explain without spoiling it, but again, burping. Coraline and her family move into a new home in a really weird side of town or state or something. And she's really unhappy. So she finds a magical doorway in her dining room, I believe. It might have been the living room. Where it goes, and she's like in a separate reality where she's really happy. Her parents will, do anything she wants. It's just a really great home life. So she keeps going back there. And eventually the mother is actually really crazy and wants her to stay and sew buttons on her eyes and a bunch of stuff. It's really a wacky film. It looks really, really good on Blu-ray. Some of the scenes really took my breath away, quote unquote. But definitely check this out. Like I said, I got it for $5. I believe it's $10 or $15 all the time. From the creators of The Nightmare Before Christmas. I thought that meant that Tim Burton directed it, but I don't think he did. I'm not sure who did, but I'm pretty sure Tim Burton didn't. It really looks like something Tim Burton would do, but I'm not sure if he had any involvement in it whatsoever. But really, really great film. Check it out if you're into the claymation animation type stuff. If you like Paranorman, I'm sure you like this one. I really want to go see Paranorman and Frankenweenie. Those look really funny and pretty cool. But next up is a war movie, Black Hawk Down. And this is the last one I got. But I'm pretty into war movies. I can honestly say that I do like war movies. But this one didn't click with me either. It's not that it's bad in any way. It's pretty good. There's a lot of action. Ewan McGregor was in it, which I was really surprised. I had no idea that he was in this. But basically, I believe it's 1990-something, early 90s, and I believe it's Desert Storm. And they go in to do an operation to capture one of the leaders of the opposing force. And a lot more resistance than they thought. 2 Black Hawks go down, and they're stranded there for a couple hours, and it just goes from there. It's actually pretty grainy and dirty, It looks like just a lot of grain in it, which I think it lends to this type of film because there's a lot of dirt and stuff flying all over the air because of gunfire and bombs and a lot of stuff like that. But it's a pretty good movie. I got those last three for $5 each. If you don't know, I got those at the Best Buy trade and save thing, which was a really good deal. I hope they bring that back very soon because I want to do some more stuff with it. But those are what I got this past month. I really hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed talking about it. Thanks for watching.